Today, we're going to dive into the art of prompt engineering, or communicating with AI. From being virtually unknown 3 years ago, prompt engineering has shot up to being one of the most in-demand and critical skills for you to develop for the coming decade. We've already seen massive AI-led productivity gains play out in industries such as coding. Anthropic, who develops Claude, the AI model, uses AI to write 95% of its code. And that's now beginning to play out in the rest of knowledge work. Shopify has mandated that every single employee at Shopify has to use AI. Goldman Sachs uses AI to write 95% of its prospectuses. The challenge with prompting is that while it's easy to get a response from AI, no matter what you type in there, you're going to get a response. It's much harder to get high quality results. And so that's what this course is all about. We're going to teach you how to become an expert prompter. And we're going to give you all of the skills and techniques that we've developed over the last 3 years of talking to these models. The really cool thing about this skill set is that as AI becomes more capable, as it becomes more capable of going out into the world and doing work for you, this skill set's only going to become more important. Prompting is all about communicating with these systems effectively so that you can make yourself more effective at work. So what separates a good from a bad prompt? We've all seen those examples of AI-generated slop on LinkedIn. The types of posts that you can just tell are written by AI. I'm going to use that as an example for the first prompt. So I'm going to ask AI to write me a launch post for a product we've developed called Prompt Cowboy, which makes it much easier and faster to write great prompts. And you can see here the results that AI has given me back. It's okay, but it sounds generic. And, that's not really a surprise. I haven't actually given it a lot to work with. When you give AI a short generic input, it's going to give you back a generic output. This is known as garbage in, garbage out. So let's look at, if I change this prompt by just a few words, instead of asking it to just write me a launch post, I'm going to ask it to write me a launch post in the style of Steve Jobs. And so you can see here the response we're getting back. Straight away, it sounds more human, it sounds more flowy, it sounds less generic, and this is something that I'd feel much more comfortable posting on LinkedIn because I'm not going to be polluting everyone's feeds. But why can a few words make such a big difference? Well, when you request something from AI, AI uses that request to essentially predict the response it should give you. And when you give it a generic input or not enough instructions, it's going to give you a generic output. Prompting is all about including sufficient context and instructions for the AI to give you the results that you're looking for. And the thing is, 99% of people have not even scratched the surface of the capabilities of AI. The interesting thing about prompting is that when people get a bad result back from AI, often they'll blame themselves or they'll blame the model's capabilities. They'll think the models aren't smart enough yet and they'll give up. But actually, the problem often lies somewhere in the middle. And in this course, we're going to show you how to fix that. We're going to give you all of the skill sets, the tips and tricks that we've developed so that you know how to get AI to do exactly what you want.